I love Elden Ring, and when I finished the game, one of the first things I did was I went and I looked up what merch can I actually get for this game. I finished this game for the first time in December of 2024, and to be honest, there unfortunately is not a lot of what I would consider affordable merchandise for Elden Ring. It's a lot of statues, it's a lot of higher end, weapons, statues, action figures, what have you. But YouTooz has started putting out their own line of figures, some of which I don't really care for. I don't care for their style for like actual human or human like characters. But one of the ones they struck gold with, in my opinion, at least in terms of the design, I'm going to talk about the price. In terms of the design, their Iron Fist Alexander figure, I think they knocked it out of the park. It still kind of has a little bit of their design style to it. Here, I'll kind of put it up here next to the camera. But you can kind of see, he's got his arms crossed. He's kind of chilling. The base kind of gives off, more of the cartoony kind of vibe. But we'll just kind of, spin him around here and, get kind of a good look at him. I think this is one of the few pieces of Elden Ring merch that I actually have. Now, over here, I do have the Wilder statue from the collector's edition of Night Rain. I've got the Bloodborne Hunter, as well as Lady Maria, and I've got the Nindroid of Wolf from Sekiro. Unfortunately, the Nindroids for Elden Ring have not, they're, as far as I'm aware, not currently in stock anywhere in the US, other than through like third-party sellers. A lot of them are inflating the prices. Do not even look. Do not even look at Ronnie on eBay. That is that is absolutely crazy what they're charging. Now, YouTooz did do their own version of Ronnie. Again, I said I don't care for their interpretations of like humanoid looking characters, but again, I think what they did here with Alexander was really, really good. There we go. We can get it to focus back in. Um, there's a lot of good designs, a lot of good, detail. You've got all the printing here at the top of the lid. The goat, the goat. But what one of my biggest criticism with this figure is it's not very tall. It's probably what, like 3-4 inches tall. This is a $30 figurine, statue, whatever you want to call it. Basically, YouTooz is, I guess you could say, more premium, nicer than Funko Pops. Because Funko Pops, I think usually these days run for around $15. I don't buy a lot of Funko Pops anymore. I've got a few in the back, but I bought most of those years and years ago. YouTooz go for usually around like $30. And I'm going to be honest, for $30 for a figure this size, what are we doing? Like I was expecting something almost twice the size. It's on me. I should have looked at the dimensions, but man, like I'm failing to see the value of $30 out of a figure again this height that is, if not smaller than a Funko Pop in terms of height. Yeah, there's a little bit more detail, but in terms of like intricacies, like actual like sculpting and line work on the figure, but in general, it's just not giving me anything that I feel like isn't out of the wheelhouse for a Funko Pop. But they're charging almost double for this. I'm not currently sure what if you can get this in stock. I bought this off of eBay, or not eBay, off of Amazon. I'm not sure if it's still in stock on Amazon right now. I would imagine if it's not, then the price is even more inflated, which is unfortunate. I think Bandai Namco, in terms of licensing for Elden Ring, has kind of been dropping the ball recently. They're putting out a lot of these blind boxes, which Alexander is one of the figures you can get out of their Elden Ring line, but they're not maximizing, I think, to the full potential that they could be with merchandising, and especially again more affordable merchandising. I'm seeing a whole lot of third-party sellers, third-party items on like TikTok and stuff from coming from like China and all of this, like keychains and whatnot that are not officially licensed as far as I'm aware, but at least they're affordable. There's something. And I think Bandai Namco and FromSoft could be doing a significantly better job with licensing, with these characters, with this property actually getting stuff out there. I feel like it's easier for me to find stuff for Bloodborne than it is for Elden Ring at times.
No, I'm serious.
Because Sony, say what you want about Sony, them potentially trying to bury the franchise. I have my thoughts on that. I may make a video on that one day. But I think they did do a very good job in merchandising that game. There's a lot of stuff out there. You can still buy. They are still putting out merchandise for that game 11 years later. Plushies to like statues, like everything that like they've got it out there. And Elden Ring, like there's stuff out there, but in terms of the scale and the newness of that game, I mean it's like 4 years old. But regardless, I hope in the future they start giving us more things to, potentially sink our teeth into. That I'm gonna be honest, I'm not the biggest fan of YouTooz. And again, their art direction, and I would like them to do, maybe smaller, more realistic statues that are in the $30, $40 range, but aren't as like stylized. And again, I'm not the hugest fan of their blind box thing. I may make a video on that as well, talking about how I'm not a fan of essentially incentivizing your customers to buy multiples of the same product in hopes of getting a specific character, whatever. But anyway, my thoughts, my opinions on the YouTooz Iron Fist Alexander from Elden Ring. One last little look here. He's just kind of chilling. I do really like this figure. I'm glad I have him. Do I think he's worth the $30? I mean, if you're a big Elden Ring fan, and you're not buying a whole lot of merch, it might not be a bad one to add to your collection. But do I, on a face value, think he's worth the $30? No, unfortunately not. But anyway, that's it for today. Appreciate you guys. Be sure to follow, to subscribe, hit the like button, and be sure to follow the TikTok as well. I post on there a good bit. I'm posting there like all the time. So I'll catch you guys next time.